friends. Once again, welcome to the best hour in town. Of course, the happy hour of Keystone Advisors. My name is Rudy Rincon. I'm your host and also one of the broker managers here at Keystone Advisor in Houston. And I wanted to welcome to another episode of this great podcast that we put together for all the people that collaborates with Keystone Advisors. In this great episode, I wanted to bring you since day one because we are going to talk to something very important, which is money. Yes, we're going to go and touch finance, but of course, like I said, we are going to do it in a happy hour time. So we're going to do it with relax. We're going to make sure that we aboard those topics, not in a boring way. And that's why, my friends, I brought one of my dear friends, expert matter in the topics, my dear friend. Oh my God, it's a pleasure to have Soledad Tanner with us. Soledad, welcome to the Happy Hour Keystone Advisors. I'm so happy that you have the opportunity to be here with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy. I absolutely love to be here. I love talking about money. It's such an important topic for all of us. I love that we are living a place for finance, so all of the people that are listening to us can improve, get tips in a fun way, right? You don't have to be an expert. We're going to talk about casually, like we're sitting in the back patio of our house. And when we finish, you will at least have 2 or 3 tips that you can use
And
in
of
your
course,
business.
you know that she said, it's okay, you don't have to be an expert because she is an expert. So let me tell you a little bit, and I got my cheat sheet right here, about my dear friend. Soledad Tanner is the founder and CEO of STC Consulting, a minority woman-owned financial and business consulting firm. My dear friend Soledad, has more than 30 years of experience in finance, She will use that, to help you navigate and deal with all the landscapes of finance with the final purpose of to help you to get a better profit and expand your productivity. Huh? What did I tell you? That's why we have this podcast, my friend. And the tip of the information. What do you think Soledad is our guest that talked about finance for Keystone Advisor? Because Soledad, it's also part of our executive team here at Keystone Advisors. And this conversation is not going to be just this podcast. We are having trainings in having segments for all our agents and agents force here at Keystone Advisors that you will be able to receive here in our headquarters that our friend, the expert Soledad, is going to put together for all our employees. I'm so excited about that.
I love that. I love that because each one of us have an entrepreneurial spirit. Like we deal with our work in an entrepreneurial way. And as such, we need to make sure that every day we're thinking of the customer, we're thinking of the sales, but also we're thinking of the profit, we're thinking of the bottom line, what is there, we're thinking long-term strategies, we're thinking about cash flow. There are so many things. Working hard is important, but managing our money is even more important.
Yeah. And of course, so you haven't forget, because remember, this is happy hour of Keystone Advisors. So that's my friend Soledad. We say, salud.
Salud. Cheers.
Cheers. That way we can start getting into the matter. So.
See,
And of course, because I do my due diligence, I know that my friend Soledad loves wine. So that's why we brought one of the best. Thanks to our dear CEO, Veronica Neal. Veronica, thank you. I mean, she was the one who present our vitamins for the show.
to the heart.
But
to the heart.
Soledad, one of the things that I wanted to share with you, it's because when people embark in this industry, they also do it because of the flexibility of being their own boss. Okay, so
Yes.
a lot of people that are very successful is because they have that mentality of entrepreneurship and they have the thrive to do it. But at the same time, in that path, they struggle because they lack of the knowledge of how to manage finance and having the opportunity to partner with somebody that can guide you in your own business and keep you with the orientations that you need and the organizations that you need in order that you can be your own boss, you can have your own flexibility, but at the same time doing the right thing with the finance. I think it's such an important topic for our industry. So, and I know that you have a lot of individuals that looked for you for guidance. Knowing our industry and the beautiful things it offers about being your own boss and flexibility, tell us how important is to have that in perspective, to have that part of finance on check.
Yes. So one of the reasons, and thank you for starting with that question, because one of the reasons many people go and dream to have their own business is because they want to have freedom. Freedom of their time, freedom of making their own decisions. But with freedom, but also comes other freedoms, financial freedom.
Absolutely.
So in order to achieve that financial freedom, it doesn't come for free. There are a couple of things that you have to do in order to make sure that not only you work hard, but also you earn hard, save hard, make sure your costs are appropriate to the level of sales that you're having. So I see small businesses that make, let's say, $100,000, companies that make $10 million, companies that make $100 million. And at the end of the day, the same thing is required out of the tree.
Correct.
You can have super large sales, but you can sell $100 million and spend $101 million.
Correct.
So it's not so much, it's important to have a good level of sales, but more important is to really think strategically how you're spending your money. What kind of return on the investment? And we will talk about that. It's like, what are you getting out of that expense that you are making? So every time you make expense in your business, you have to say, okay, I'm renting this place. Okay, what will I get out of it?
Correct.
Without that question, without that reflection, there is really, I have to rent this place because everybody's renting a place like this. That is not an answer.
Exactly.
That is not an acceptable answer. It's an answer, but it's not an acceptable one. So you have to say, if I buy this software, if I rent this place, if I hire this person, if I invest in a new software, what will I get out of that? And when you monetize that return, then you can say, oh, I hope to get 100 and it's going to cost me 50, so I'm going to be left with 50. So that thinking is something that all of us in entrepreneurship need to make, from the doctors to the insurance to anybody who is sales and services. You have to make that thinking.
I was about to ask you that because it's not only in our industry. It's
No.
kind of like the typical of those individuals that thrive to say, hey, I can do this on my own and I'm going to get everything. And with that force and that thrive is great. But yes, I have to admit, I mean, I suffer in one episode in my life about that you are making such a great sales and you see, wow, I make this, $10,000 commission and you feel great about it. But at the same time, if you are not organized internally and if you are not prepared to really create a level of what that money should go and how that money should flow, because one huge sale is not going to, if you have one huge sale that lasts for a lifetime, hey, I want to know your name, your address. But the reality is that the lives continues and we can probably have that large sales today and probably go into a recession the next month, and that's one of the situations when you are on your own, right? And Soledad and I, we discussed a couple of things, and she presented me about like 30 questions, and I picked a few, and one in particular kind of like resonates to me, and I want to ask her that to her to answer. Is like, what is the difference between wants versus needs? I love that question.
I love that.
So what's your answer
So,
to that?
kind of to follow with the thought you were having, one thing that all of us have for sure is that our life, our business life, will not be a straight line. Will be like a wave. Think as a surfer. You will go up and down, up and down, up and
Okay,
down.
I like. Let's start making something here in this podcast. Let's create statements because I love that one. The
Business life will be like a wave.
There you go. It's not going to be a straight line. Check that out.
And there will be big wave, so you will be surfing, and there will be a small wave, and you will be walking.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you it's not going to be a straight line. So why do I set that as a segue? Because we know we will have peaks of high earnings and valleys of low earnings for many reasons. We can talk about the economy. We can talk about because your product and service is changing, because the market appetite is changing for new laws, economical reasons, recessions. It can be a million reasons. That if we even remove the reasons, we know for a fact that we're going to have highs and lows, period. And when you're in a high, it's your time to prepare for your lows.
Correct.
Thinking that there will not be lows in your life, it's really not conducive to financial freedom. And so every time you get that paycheck or that big commission or that great sales or that great customer, you have to stop and ask yourself, am I covered in case there is a low? Let's say in Houston here, we freeze, we flood, we have hurricane, we have storms, the office is closed, the city is closed. Do I have a low? Maybe during the hurricane season, I may be closed for 2-3 weeks, not being able to sell. I know that if you have been here in the last 10 years, you know that almost with 100% certainty that it will happen again. We don't know when.
Absolutely.
So if I get this...
We're in Houston, baby.
We're in Houston, right? And we're entering now spring, and it's going to get hot, and then we're going to enter hurricane season, and hopefully, I knock on wood, nothing happens, but we need to be prepared for the city to paralyze a little bit, right? So I get, using your example of I make this $10,000 commission, I can very easily find a way to spend it.
Oh, yeah.
And I can very easily find a friend who is willing to consume part of that, either in restaurants or clothes or cars or trips. But before you go there, you have to ask yourself, do I think I'm prepared for a low? And then question number 1 and question number 2, do I want it or do I need it? So here it's like beauty. It's in the eyes of the beholder, right? So do I need to buy food for my kids?
Probably yes. Yeah.
We'll say 100% certainty.
100%. Yeah.
Do I need to pay my mortgage?
Yeah.
100% certainty. Do I have to buy myself a third car? I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. But maybe instead of having another toy, I'm saving because I want to buy myself a building. And that building will be on lease and will generate passive income as in the future I'm on my vacation.
Of course.
So a need is something normally related to health. You have to have that surgery that the doctor suggests that you do. You have to take care of your kids, school, clothing, shelter, food. That's something that you cannot, even as a mom or a dad, you will find a way to make it, right? But do you need to have things that are in the top of the pyramid of wants and will add just a slightly degree of enjoyment? And that is a personal decision. That is the answer. There is no, I'm not going to answer because something that for me it's could be a want, for you could be a need, and vice versa.
And I 100% agree with you. And another thing that I can add as a broker manager is that when you are in that predicament, there's two really good things happening. One is that you're being productive, okay? And the second is that it's make that decision in order to keep expanding your business. Mm-hmm. That decision is critical because it will show you your capacity to expand in your business, how committed you'll be in your business. And that, my friend, is what we offer right here at Keystone. Mm-hmm. Pillars and roadblocks that can show you how important it is to take those highs and enjoy them and have that excitement. But at the same time, don't forget that you are building a business. So we're going to, enjoy that with you. We're going to go high and go high five with you. But at the same time, we're having the right structure for you to have the guidance, to have the people that can talk to you about how we can manipulate that in our own good to keep expanding our business. So I invite you to check our event calendar that we have online, because the financial literacy that we're going to have with my friend Soledad will be here for you to take it. And I'm so excited because that's where I am so passionate about Keystone, that we are putting all that map together for our agents to really thrive in their business and have the right coaching that they deserve. So, and that brings me to another good questions about it, which is how someone that probably is not as vested as you in financial knowledge can, in a kind of like easy way to find out or determine what a cash flow is and how important for our own business is cash flow. Can we talk about that?
Yes, I love that. So people say that cash is king. I have rephrased that, and I think cash is the queen.
I 100% agree.
Because if the woman of the house is not happy, nobody's happy in that house.
100% agree.
So
we're going to say hello to Andrea. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. So let's talk about cash flow. I'm going to start with an example. So here in the U.S., we, most of us that have a mortgage, have to pay the mortgage, let's say, by the 20th of every month. And let's say that it's $1,000, just for an example. And I am here today, is a 19. Also, let's say that's an example. And I have $200 in my bank account, another example. Will I be able to pay the mortgage? The obvious answer is no. But I know my paycheck is coming the 15th of the next month, or my big commission is coming, the big thing. Or an investment that I have will mature and it will come back in 2 months. To me, I have money, but I don't have money available. It's not with me right now. So I don't have a good cash flow because the money is not flowing easily to meet the obligation on the date it should be paid. Another example that it's very, very good, if, knock on wood again, if one of my family members or your family members have to be admitted into the hospital, and for any reason we have to secure a deposit, if I own 5 buildings and no cash in my bank, will I be able to pay the hospital with a building? No.
No.
The front desk, the hospital, will not accept the title of your business. So you can have a lot of assets or belongings or toys or houses, but having a good cash flow is being able to meet your obligations, like the mortgage, the day that the obligation is due. So it doesn't help me that next year I'm going to win the lottery and have $20 million in the bank if today I cannot fulfill my payments of credit cards, my loans, etc. So what is cash flow? Is having enough money, not excessive, enough money to satisfy all my obligations, and the rest, it goes to another place.
And so, following the same topic, another of your questions, what strategies can a small business use to manage cash flow better?
So cash flow, imagine the sink of your kitchen for a moment.
Wow.
Okay. Let's go to your kitchen and open the faucet, and there's water coming. And then there's a lot of water coming. But the sink, what do you call the thing that goes out to the pipe? It's also huge.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of money can be coming in. Imagine that the water are coins. A lot of coins can be going into your sink, but they are flushing out as fast as they are coming. That is cash flow or water flow, right? So what can we do in that example to prevent the water to leave? Well, we cover the sink. So suddenly the water is sitting with me. It's an analogy to say, how can I have a better working capital or cash flow? Is number one, analyzing your expenses. Where are you spending the money? And how are you, so you go and you say, okay, meals, restaurants, assets, subscriptions. A lot of people are spending a lot of money on subscriptions. Meals and entertainment. So you say, you know what, I'm a little over the top on entertainment. I'm going to shrink a little bit of office supplies. So first strategy, number one, watch how you're spending your money. That way you reduce the amount of money that is going out. That's one. Number two, if you are in a business that bills the customer, that creates an invoice, I have many businesses that wait 30 days before they bill the client. And then the client waits 45 days to pay them.
Good.
So tip number two, bill as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Tip number three, collect as soon as you can. Because you could have made a sale. Let's say you sell bicycles. You can you come to the bike shop, you buy the bike, you take it home, and you said, I come 30 days later and pay you. Well, you haven't done anything. There is no money to satisfy the need that you need to pay the invoice for the vendor that you bought the bicycle for. Businesses that have inventory, like restaurants, are a lot of excessive purchase of inventory. I have, let's say I'm a painter, and I have this room full of gallons of paint that can more than I would use in a year. I have all the money used in painting that I would use in October, that I will bill in November, and I will collect in December. But I have paid the vendor in January. Tip number 4. Okay? So the other tip is check your revenue, check your sales, and put your people on. Let's talk about goals or targets, also in the finance world known as KPIs, which are key performance indicator. That's a technical word. That's a full mouth of things. But basically, every person needs to have a goal. So if I work for you and you said, Soledad, I want you to make 20 phone calls a day, and then I come and I make 3, then I'm not fulfilling, I am not generating enough activity to be able to, along the line, create enough leads that will create enough opportunities that will give me a good rate of closure. So it's like a funnel. So 100 phone calls maybe generate 60 leads that become 40 opportunities, that 20 people are interested, and you close on 10 of them. So you have to have this funnel very, very clear and keep it moving as an engine. So measure, tip number 5, measure the performance of the people that work for you, because the activity that happens 3 months ago is what will generate the money, the closure this month.
Correct. And I'm gonna go and kind of like center that particular statement to our industry because I think it's great. I mean, if you notice, we're giving general tips for all kind of entrepreneurships to people that it's very important for all kind of line of businesses, and that's what I liked it too. But I want to pick your brain of something that I noticed that happens to some of my agent principals and agency owners when they don't do that. They I mean, right now they call it KPIs, but those factors have been forever with different names and all that. And in fact, what it is that you need to hold everyone accountable to make sure you get the results that you propose and they accept that they will do in order to execute. So if you have a agent that you are providing leads or some certain resources, and that agent goes and attends some of them, and all of a sudden was great. I mean, they went to a house, and one lead becomes an opportunity to have a family of 8. And it's 10 a.m. in the morning, and a great sale just happening, and boom, all of a sudden we have 8 new apps. Well, I mean, if that person decides to go home and just say, call it a day, that's when I noticed that the dedication and the opportunity to really keep on growing in your business stop. Because yes, it's a triumph, and we're celebrated and we're excited, but you got 3 more leads to go. I mean, I will call it a momentum. I will, with the same energy that and excitement it gave me to have that opportunity, why don't just, make that contagious and go to the next one, and the next one probably could be another family of 4, But I've seen some individuals that take that victory to the extremes, like, oh, that's it. My day is over. I don't, and that's actually a mentality. That's kind of like a way that will injure at the end your results, and that's why us as a directors, as the individuals, there are trying to make sure that we provide the right approach for everyone. Can say, hey, don't lose that momentum. Just let's enjoy. Let's have a good time, because yes, you're, that's great that happens, but let's keep it going in order to make sure to prepare for those lows. Yeah.
Correct. So discipline
Yes.
is the mother of triumph. And when you are an entrepreneur, you are going to be told no 100 times. And that's okay. That's what you signed for. Sometimes it's not now, and it's just later. And sometimes it's not today, but I may call you next year. And also, there's a habit, right? If I make one sale and I go home and do nothing else, you're really having a short-term vision, because that one sale will cover your card note this month. But what happened if I make 5 sales? Today is my lucky day. I'm like, woke up and I'm on fire. Every call I'm making, people are booking an appointment with me. every call. I don't know, there's something in my voice today.
Yeah.
And every call that I made, I book an appointment. I'm going to go. It's in my calendar. And maybe in that week, you close and you cover all your expenses for the month. So everything that you do next week will go to your emergency fund. Everything that you will close the second week, it will go for your vacation fund. Everything you will cover in another day will come to invest back in the company. So there is a million ways that you can take the momentum. It's like a car, the engine, like it's already warm. The car is already in action, and you are also too. The other reason why it's up to everyone, right? There's freedom to do that. But I don't recommend that people do that. It's because you have a responsibility to the industry, and people need your service.
Absolutely.
People need insurance. And really, it's not only about what you're going to make, but also the impact that you have in the community. Houston needs insurance, and Houston needs products and services. So you shortchange us that we're waiting for your product and service to be in our life. And when we said, oh, that's enough, we're stopping that cycle of helping another family cover themselves for an emergency and come out of the emergency in a good way because they have insurance. So it is it's a leadership concept. It's a community concept. It's not only a financial concept.
Absolutely.
And the people and us as managers, we know that that's a fact, that you need to continue. And we need to check our teams, what they're doing, and have some basic targets or KPIs to say the minimum I need you to do is X number of phone calls, X number of appointments. Because I know with my 20 years of experience that is the ratio for success.
Yeah. So now, are we going to be able to prepare our agents and our partners with those concepts with your classes here at Keystone?
Yes, come and learn. See, this is something I need to tell you. I wasn't born with this knowledge. You were not born with this knowledge. None of us were born. You have never seen a baby talk finance.
Of course.
So let's humanize these. It's just something that I learned. I went to school for that. I went to college. I went to university. And now I have the beauty and the pleasure to share this knowledge with all of you. But it's not something that none of us naturally are going to have. So let's accept the fact that it's a known knowledge and we have to learn it. And let's accept the fact that I don't like numbers for an answer.
Yeah.
So if you're running to me, don't ever tell me I don't like numbers, because I'm going to grab you and we're going to have a conversation, because financial freedom and money, it's important that you keep your power and do not give that power away to anyone. So when something happened and somebody passed away, or somebody it's no longer in the picture, and you are informed that there is nothing left, what do? We have wasted the time and the knowledge to make a change. We could have made a change. We could have asked. We could have hired an expert. We could have, but now it's a fact. Now we only have the present and the future.
I love it. I mean, listen to what you just said. Do not pass it to someone else. Okay? So I know, and yes, I agree. I mean, some people are afraid to this type of topic. Some people's like, oh, I don't know numbers. I don't like numbers. But let me tell you, my friend, and I know a lot of you, that you work so hard. You have 14, 16-hour day, 6 days a week. You work so hard, and all of a sudden you say, hey, I'm making good money. And all of a sudden, at the end of the month, you're struggling. Why you think is that? Because you're not working hard? No, you are. The only problem is that if you don't have the structure that they can protect that earning after a hard work, it's gonna go. It's so easy. It's so easy to let that go. And a lot of people, they wait until the last minute, the last stroke to ask for help. But not here, my dear agents of Keystone Advisors, because we have you covered. We're going to have these classes, and guess what? Another tip. They're going to be in English and in Spanish. Okay? So, yes.
Today's your lucky day.
Yes. So, don't go anywhere. Don't look for, another individuals that you know what? It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to have this moment with Soledad. 30 plus years of experience is not cheap. It's not free. But we're investing in you guys. We're investing in our partners, our agents to be successful. And of course, it's our desire to provide you with the best that we can grab and present it to you guys. And we're so honored and happy that Soledad is part of our executive leadership, and that's why we can afford it. Okay?
And if I can add, I have had the opportunity to meet personally the leadership team of Keystone Advisor, and they are not here to have one more or two more. We're here to grow. Absolutely. We're here to create wealth. We're here to really make an impact in the community.
That's what we want.
So these nuggets of knowledge are for all of you, so you can grow and have a comfortable life. And after a couple of years, you keep growing and expanding, and you hire more people, and we bring the community, and we bring our family members, and we all together as a unity grow up and expand and live the American dream that it still exists.
So, yeah, but I mean, is that, I was kind of reading a little bit of what you're going to cover. Is that true? You're going to cover about credit, managing credit, how to pay credit, how to create that cash flow that we talked about. So we're going to be able to talk about all of this in your classes?
Yes. Well, I have been teaching for CEOs and board members and in universities. So we're going to make finance easy and fun here.
Good.
It's not a school boring class. I took that, so I take care of that. Don't worry about it, right? And here, the idea, it has to be more practical. And I'm going to share a personal story with you that you don't know. I lost my father when I was 20 years old. And at that time, my mother did not have enough tools in her toolbox to know what to do with all the financial responsibilities of a family, of 3 kids, of a house, the cards, the lawyers, the debt. And she, unfortunately, and us had to go through a very quick learning curve. I was already in university. I was in my 3rd year of college and studying business. So that helped a little bit. But not knowing what the checking account was, not knowing if we had insurance or didn't have insurance, not knowing what the documentation was, not even knowing if there were any savings. We didn't know anything.
Wow.
When I said, don't give your power away, it's not from the mouth out. I live it. Nobody in my family knew what the documentation was. We didn't know if we were going to be evicted or not. We didn't know where the title of the house was. We didn't know. Wow. We didn't know where the title of the car was. We didn't know anything about my father's business. And 30 years later, here we are. But if that's another bottle of wine for the future.
It's coming.
But if I would have to share all the difficulties and that we had to go through because we didn't know. And I don't want you to have to go through those difficulties.
That's right.
Because we have to create profitability, create a plan, bring our families with us, and grow with knowledge. And that's what you're going to get in the classes we're going to be
I
teaching.
love it. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Well, stay tuned. Check our event calendars and your producer academy. And this is Keystone Advisors, my friend, the headquarters that we want to offer to all our agents and partners. Soledad, thank you so much. Thank you so much for share all that stories with us and for let everybody know that you're going to be available, that we're going to have you here for those classes. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to have that classroom full of individuals because here at Keystone Advisors, that's what we want, to empower you to be the best that you can be. And of course, do it in a fun and family way at the happy hour of Keystone Advisors. I'll see you soon in the next episode. And remember, this is Happy Hour at Keystone Advisors.
Cheers.
Cheers.